My story as an entrepreneur is not a very long one. It's rather a short story. It started off in primary school by a business funded by my parents, where they funded an ice cream business for me to run. My mom told me, my son, you need to learn how to grow money. You need to learn how to handle money. So starting at that point, I fell in love with the art of trade, with the exchange of money. I fell in love with the beauty of giving your customers their goods and then you see the smile in their face. That feeling alone is enough to make any entrepreneur want to push for more. It's enough to make them seek success. So upon coming to China, I started another business of selling furniture, but it did not mature too much. It rather failed due to different aspects. So I was really demotivated, but I remembered a quote from Tom Henry that said, every failure is an opportunity for a new beginning. So upon my arrival in Jiangsu University, I met the likes of OT, Mona, Prince, who had mastered the art of entrepreneurship, who had the love for money and success, who were seeking for a better tomorrow. So I associated myself with them and I told OT, I am not a good entrepreneur. I have businesses that have failed. I have tried, but they did not work out as I had wanted or as I had hoped they would work out. And I told him, you have a already established business and it has grown from year to year, but it lacks digital presence. So I'm good at social media. I don't do it as a profession, but it's something I enjoy to do. So we can have a barter system. You teach me entrepreneurship, and in turn, I make sure that your company has presence in the digital market. It has online presence. I'm good at social media. I like posting things. So then Demo was still a baby, if I can say, and then it later grew to what it is today, and that was the beginning of my journey as an entrepreneur.
My entrepreneurship journey tracks back to my home village, where I used to help my grandmom sell watermelons and peanuts from her garden. After moving to China, I developed a skill. I developed the love of money and being able to be the main middleman between big factories here in China, small enterprises, and local people back in Botswana. I think that sums up my entrepreneurship journey, which now I've developed myself to be a creator, a sports brand creator, where I was able to locate the perfect sports brand or factories here in China to collaborate with them to develop my sports brand. I think that sums up the whole entrepreneurship journey, also with the kind of people that I had around me, the kind of friends that I made here in China, who were so intrigued and so in love with making a change amongst the environment that we lived in here in Jiangsu University.
To things that I believe not to be true or not necessarily agree with, the first one is that everyone can be a businessman. I do not believe that to be true or necessarily true per se. Jack Ma said, for a business to succeed, it needs to be solving a problem. Not everyone is a problem solver. Not everyone is able to identify gaps in the market. And not everyone has the emotional intelligence to deal with loss. Some of us get frustrated by small things, and some of us lose focus when we are trying to achieve our goals. And that hinders every businessman and that hinders every entrepreneur. That's the most important thing that I think is not necessarily the truth.
There are a number of fundamentals that the whole world disagrees with or agrees with. And today I want to touch on the fundamentals that everyone believes that you shouldn't keep all your eggs in one basket. But I would like to differ and say you can keep all your eggs in one basket, take care of them, make sure they hatch, and once that happens, you can let your chicks go and make sure that they spread their wings to different angles. In that way, in entrepreneurship, we can just say, focus on your business, develop it, make sure it's fully grown. Once it's fully grown, then you can spread on to other businesses and invest in other areas.
At the end of every day, I sit in my room and I write down the list of all the new things I've learned that I did not know yesterday. Why do I do this? I want to be better than I was yesterday. That's what drives me. I want to always be better than I was the previous day. I want to work to be the best. I want to apply myself in everything I do. The things that drive me, or the key factors that drive me in life, is to succeed, to be the best at what I do, to be better than everyone else. And the only way to do that is to be the best version of myself that I can be. That's what motivates me. That's what drives me every day and every night, I think.
The transition from being a civil engineer to developing my own sporting brand was a difficult transition, but it did happen eventually. Having the love of sports and also having the love of being an engineer was something I had to work on. After completing my first degree of civil engineering, I now had enough time to focus on sports, which is something that I can do each and every day. I can do it any day, anytime. After completing that, I had a team of individuals that came together and said, you know what, we want to help you build yourself as a person with the love of sports and understanding that as much as I know more about engineering, as much as I also love sports, I can coexist and make sure that I develop myself as a sports person. The transition took place where me and my friends had to sit down and say, you know what, Otsile, you love sports and we want to help you. We want to work with you to develop your own sporting brand. You have enough time. You have 24 hours per day. You can sacrifice 8 hours to focus on engineering. You can focus 8 hours to focus on what? On your sporting label. And now developed other aspects and bringing people with different ideas, different expertise, because I would maybe not understand the marketing of the brand. I might not understand the design of the brand, but I would have the love. I would have the desire to have my own sporting brand. So the transition was easier and made easy by the team that I had, and also working with people of different minds, because being an engineer at the end of the day, the only thing you may be good at is numbers. If you give me the numbers of say, okay, calculate the amount of money we might need for our sports brand, I might be able to do that. But when it comes to the technicalities of dividing the factories or locating factories or talking to people on Instagram or talking to people on Facebook to market the brand, I might not be having those expertise. So it also boils down to each and every one that if you have the love for something, what you need is that key drive. You need the right people around you and everything could be possible. So I think the transition was made possible by also the people that I had around me, and also the goal that I set for myself, that at the end of the day, I want to be owning a sporting brand. The driving key or the driving factor of everything that I do is the desire to succeed, and also the fear of being hungry. I've once experienced hunger and I don't want to experience it again. I've once experienced a downfall and I never want to go back. So I think the key thing that drives me is just the idea of me being successful and the dreams that I have for myself, the ambitions that I have, and the people around me. I'm a people's person and I always want to see the environment that I'm in being a better environment. So the key factor is just the fear of hunger and the drive to be successful and being able to support and be there for each and everyone that I care about that is around me.
Being a PhD student and being an entrepreneur is not easy. It's a very, very hard life and very frustrating life. But the secret behind it is prioritizing. You need to prioritize your time and plan for your time efficiently. If you can do that, then you'll be able to manage both at the same time. And you need to apply yourself in everything you do. Focus, know what's important, know what are your wants and what are your needs. Know why you are doing what you're doing, and I guarantee you will manage everything equally.
Smart housing. Smart housing is an idea that we came about with a group of graduates from Jansu University, which happened to be my friends as well. So smart housing is basically an idea that we want to bring forth to the youth as a business, to the youth of Africa to be specific, to build houses. Statistics show that over 100 million people in Africa don't have decent homes or decent houses. So we came up with an idea of saying, you know what, there are containers each and every day coming to Africa, bringing goods. And these containers sometimes don't get to be used. So the whole idea of smart housing is to use those containers and build houses out of them, build schools, be it offices, be it living houses that people can actually build their own 3-bedroom apartment and live in those houses. And the idea of using containers, one might say, oh, containers are hot or everything. Coming from an engineering background, we also formulated ideas that we're going to make sure that these containers are fully furnitured, and also everyone knows and everyone believes that Africa is hot. Where I come from the southern part of Africa, it's very hot, which is one of our main markets. And we believe that we can use the sun, the heat there, to generate electricity from solar panels that will be installed on those container houses. At the end of the day, giving people of Africa decent homes and also affordable homes, because the cost of containers once they've landed and they're empty is not as high as building your whole house from a concrete and other materials that can be used. The cost that many people have to incur when they deal with container houses is furnituring of the container houses, installation of furnitures inside, and just the solar panels to generate electricity and also power the container houses. So that is smart housing, which we at the end of the day we call it eco housing, eco business plan by the young people of Africa and graduates of Jones University.
Role models or people who inspire me are people I see on a daily basis, people I can relate to. Most people have billionaires as their role models, but my biggest or greatest inspiration has to be my parents. I have seen them struggle to raise and fund our education. They work tirelessly to ensure that we have all we want and we can have all the tools to survive in this world. We are equipped to fend for ourselves in this life. For me, those are the people that really have inspired me, or those are the people I would want to be when I mature to their age. So yeah, those are the people who have inspired me in my life.
Mommy's boy, that's how many call me. I think that's my inspiration. Having raised by a single mom has been my inspiration. So I think my inspiration is my mother. My role model has been my mother. Be it business, be it education, be it everything that I want to be tomorrow, I want to be like her or better, because she's always strived for a better education, for a better living for me. So the inspiration or my role model has to be my mom. A message to the upcoming entrepreneurs or the young businessmen: love money. Besides loving money, have vision, have goals, and make sure that at the end of the day, you achieve those things for you to get the money at the end of the day. So my message to all of you who are upcoming entrepreneurs is just love money, love money. When you love money, you'll know when to lose it, you'll know when to invest it, you'll know when to make it, and you'll know even when the money is not yours.
Being a PhD student and being an entrepreneur is not easy. It's a very, very hard life and very frustrating life. But the secret behind it is prioritizing. You need to prioritize your time and plan for your time efficiently. If you can do that, then you'll be able to manage both at the same time. And you need to apply yourself in everything you do. Focus, know what's important, know what are your wants and what are your needs. Know why you are doing what you're doing, and I guarantee you will manage everything equally.